guys, it's me, Little Mew too. And today I'm going to be reading you guys some bedtime stories. Yes, it's daylight outside. Yes, I know for me to film this and get it up on time and edit it, I have to do it in the daytime, okay? I used to do a lot of bedtime story videos like all the time, like when I first started my channel, and then I don't know what happened. I don't know, I just stopped doing them. I don't know. And then like you guys asked for them back, and then I made one. We like did a live stream like sleepover thing, and it was great and it was awesome. And then I accidentally deleted it. Don't ask me how. I don't know. You guys were like asking me where did it go? And I was like, I don't know what happened. I somehow deleted it. It's like, wait, where'd it go? Where'd it go? And I'll do another like live stream, like sleepover, like little space thing again. But oh, hi puppy. No, you can't play with this. Yeah, I'll do another live stream like sleepover thing again. But right now, what I'm going to be doing is just doing another story time video for you guys, and I'm just going to be reading you guys the stories. So, recently, me and Daddy have been buying a lot of books, so I have a lot of stuff that I can read for you guys. So if you like these videos, don't forget to leave a like for me to let me know, and I will definitely read you some more stories. So, I have I'm not a couple, I have actually a lot of books on the bed. I'm not reading them all. I actually haven't even picked which books I'm reading, so maybe I should do that. This is the latest book I got. I got this week. I got it from the library for $1. It's a Winnie the Pooh book, and I have like so many Winnie the Pooh books. Like these are all like Winnie the Pooh books. I have a problem. Okay, I think I'm gonna have to read one of the Winnie Pooh books because I don't know, Daddy reads them to me, but I'm going to sleep, so I'm not really paying attention to what he's saying. He literally can say anything and I'm not paying attention. So this is my chance to finally know what my books are saying, and to listen to these stories or read these stories. Sorry, I'm like all over the place today. Today is a nuts day. Today is nuts. So the first book that I'm going to read is the Many Adventures of Winnie the Pooh. And then I got this book for 25 cents. Bitch, what? I love Fancy Nancy. Like I would always check Fancy Nancy books out at the library, and then I saw this. I checked this book out before, and I think we got fined for this book, and now I own it. So that's cool. And then I have a bunch of like little like beginner reader books that like we can read, but like I'm probably gonna read all these because it's like 30 seconds to read these, but like they're really cute and I really enjoy like reading these, so we're gonna read those. Lastly, this book, Daddy's been reading this book to me every single night this week, and I still don't know what this book is about. So you know what, I'm gonna read it because I want to know. I picked this book out, the pictures are really cute, and I fall asleep. All I know is called Little Naomi and Little Chick. That's all I know, and I don't know if anybody else has this problem. But this is a good set of books that we're gonna read today, so I hope that this has interest you. You don't know what any of these are about, but stay tuned to know what these are about. I don't know. Let's just get into reading them.
Good morning. Little Naomi jumps out of bed. She gets ready for the day ahead. She brushes her teeth and washes her face, eats breakfast, and makes sure her school bag's in place. She gives Little Bear a hug. She kisses Mommy and gives Daddy's hand a tug. Little Naomi is ready to go, off to preschool with Daddy to tow, but not Little Chick. At school, Little Naomi meets all her friends, Sophia, Max, and Emma, Lily, Daniel, and Ella. Miss Kim, her teacher, greets them all with a big hello. Naomi puts her backpack away, says goodbye to Daddy, and goes to play. But not Little Chick. Naomi plays with blocks and builds a tower, feeds the dolls, and picks some flowers. She rolls around and jumps up and down. She bakes some mud pies and flops on the ground. But not Little Chick. Story time! Naomi hears a story about a bunny who lost his tail and thought it was funny. Then she makes a picture with all of her paints, pink and green, yellow and blue, red and brown, and purple too. But not Little Chick. The bell rings. It's time for lunch. Is this for me? No, it's for Naomi. Meatballs and rice, a tomato, 1 slice, a green pickle to crunch, sweet strawberries to munch. Naomi picks up her spoon and eats all by herself. She finishes her lunch without any help. But not Little Chick. Next, it's time to wash up and roll out the mats. Everyone gets ready for the afternoon nap. Soon all are sleeping, sound as can be. Lily, Sophia, Ella, and Max, Emma, Daniel, and Naomi. But not Little Chick. Who is the first to awake at midday? Naomi, of course. She runs out to play. And who is that walking along the way? It's Mommy, sweet Mommy. She's off work for the day. A hug, a kiss, another kiss. Naomi gets her backpack and says bye to her friends. She heads home with Mommy, walking hand in hand. But not Little Chick. On the way home, Mommy stops at the grocery store. She buys bread, cheese, and eggs, butter, and more. Naomi helps Mommy load the cart. She already knows the list by heart. But not Little Chick. At the playground, Naomi climbs and slides, swings and glides. Behind the trees, the sun is low, and Naomi knows it's time to go. But not Little Chick. Daddy's home. Dinner time. Now what could that be? A fish called Naomi? No. A dolphin? A whale? A duck with a tail? No, no, no. Naomi is taking a bath with a splish and a splash. She washes her tummy and neck, her bottom and back. All clean. Daddy gets a fluffy towel to dry Naomi off. She puts on her bunny pajamas and gets into bed with a hop. But not Little Chick. Good night. Mommy sings 2 lullabies. Shh, it's late. Now go to sleep. Naomi pulls the blanket tight. She's not alone tonight. Little Bear rests by her side. Naomi yawns and closes her eyes. And Little Chick? What about Little Chick? Yes, yes. Little Chick too snuggles in for the night. Shh. Please don't make a peep. Little Chick is fast asleep. This next story is called Barnabas Helps a Friend. Story and pictures by Roden Lepp. Barnabas looked out of his den. Rain poured down. Lightning lit up the sky. This is a bad storm, Barnabas said. Soon the storm ended. The storm had made a mess of Brookdale Wood. I will go see if my friends need my help, Barnabas said. Barnabas saw his best friend. Hi, Russell Raccoon, he said. Are you okay? Russell nodded his head yes. Let's go see if our friends need help, Barnabas said. Mr. Beaver was very sad. What happened, Mr. B? Barnabas asked. The wind blew very hard. A tree fell down on my house, said Mr. Beaver. I will fix my house, Mr. B said. I'm good with wood. We will help, said Barnabas. Friends always help when trouble comes. Thanks, Mr. Beaver said. Let's move this tree first. The friends pushed and pulled. They tugged and tugged, but the tree did not move. This is too hard. I'll start a new house tomorrow, said Mr. B. Mr. B sat down on a rock. Barnabas and Russell walked away sadly. You know what we can do? Barnabas said to Russell. Let's ask our friends to help Mr. B's house. We can do it all together. Barnabas and Russell asked Timothy Turtle to help them. I'm busy, said Timothy. I'm sorry. That's okay, Barnabas said. Barnabas and Russell asked Sadie Squirrel to help them. I'd love to, said Sadie, but I'm helping someone. Oh, I see, Barnabas said. Barnabas and Russell looked and looked for more friends. We can fix Mr. B's house, Barnabas said. We can do it together. Barnabas and Russell Raccoon went back to Mr. B's house. They were so surprised. They found all their friends helping Mr. Beaver clean up. Everyone helped move the tree off Mr. Beaver's house. Yippee! They shouted. The friends of Brookdale Wood worked together to fix Mr. Beaver's house. I'm glad that everyone is helping Mr. Beaver, said Barnabas. Of course, said Timothy. Friends always help when trouble comes. The end. This next book is a Disney Level 2 reading book, and it is titled Winter Wishes. Winter is here. Chilly winds blow. The outside sparkles. There is so much snow. It is a frosty season. There is a lot to do. It is the time of year when wishes come true. Outside is coated with fluffy snow. Inside, Snow White pours cups of cocoa. She trims the tree with stars and bells. She fills the cottage with warm cookie smells. She makes a wish on a star so bright. Then the dwarfs sing and dance into the night. Ariel wishes for a wintry bash. A holiday parade makes a big splash. The jolly friends dance around the tree. Winter is fun under the sea. Lovely Belle wishes for a big winter feast. Miss Potts makes one for her and the beast. The meal is served in a piled up pie, roast turkey, cider, and warm apple pie. Everyone shares in the holiday cheer. It is such joy to have friends so dear. Briar Rose sings a wishful love song. A snowbird sweetly chirps right along. Sing, strum, hum, tweet. A winter concert never sounded so sweet. Jasmine wishes to see a world with snow, and a snowman dressed in a hat and a bow. Abracadabra, alakazoo, Jeannie makes her wish come true. Cinderella wishes to go on a snowy coach ride, so Prince Charming takes his lovely bride. The coach brings them to a grand winter ball. Then they happily dance in the snowfall. Make a winter wish, it is fun to do. You never know when the dream may come true. The end. This next story is called Winnie the Pooh and the Honey Tree. In a little house deep in the 100-acre wood, a very round bear named Winnie the Pooh was doing his slimming exercises. He was breathing deeply when all of a sudden he felt his tummy rumble. "Oh my," said Pooh. "This up and downing is making me hungry." Pooh hurried to the cupboard and got his honey pot. "Bother," said Pooh. "There is nothing left but the sticky part." But the sticky part was better than no honey at all, so Pooh stuck his nose into the pot and licked up the last little bit. With his head deep inside the pot, Pooh heard a buzzing sound. "That buzzing sound means something," Pooh said. Pop! He pulled his head out and saw a bee flying out his window. "Buzzing means bees," said Pooh. "And where there are bees, there's usually honey." Pooh followed the bee through the 100-acre wood. When he came to the foot of a very tall tree, he looked up and saw the bees buzzing around a hole. "Honey," said Pooh, and he began to climb. He climbed and he climbed all the way up the tree, all the way up to the hole. As Pooh leaned forward, the branch began to bend. The more he leaned, the more the branch bent, and until he could almost reach the honey. He leaned just a little bit more, and snap went the branch, and down fell Pooh. He bounced from branch to branch to branch until he ran out of branches and landed headfirst into a bush. "Oh my," said Pooh, rubbing his sore head. "I guess it all comes from liking honey so much." Pooh rubbed his head so hard that he came up with an idea. He would borrow a balloon from his friend Christopher Robin. "You can't get honey with a balloon," Christopher Robin told Pooh. "I can," said Pooh. "I shall hang on the string and float up to the bee hole," he explained. Then Pooh rolled himself in mud until he was covered from his nose to his toes. "I'm pretending to be a little black storm cloud," Pooh told Christopher Robin, "to fool the bees." "Silly old bear," said Christopher Robin. He watched Pooh float up, up, up into the sky and dingle right beside the hole. Pooh reached in and pulled out a pawful of golden honey as the bees began to buzz suspiciously around his head. "Christopher Robin," called Pooh, "I think the bees suspect that I'm not a little black storm cloud." With a whoosh, the balloon string loosened and the balloon began to lose air. It swooshed under Pooh, and it swooshed over Pooh, and then it rose high above the treetops, with Pooh trailing along the ride. "Oh my," said Pooh. Then the balloon had no more air at all, and down Pooh went, landing right on top of Christopher Robin. "Oh dear," said Pooh, shaking his head. "I guess it all comes from liking honey so much." By then it was time for lunch, and Pooh was hungrier than ever. So he sat down to think, and he thought first about honey and then about Rabbit, because Rabbit always had some honey in his house. Pooh hurried to Rabbit's house. Come in, Pooh," said Rabbit. "Why, thank you, Rabbit," said Pooh. "How about some lunch?" Rabbit asked, knowing perfectly well what Pooh's answer would be. "Would you like some condensed milk or honey on your bread?" "Both," Pooh answered. "But never mind the bread," he added, so as not to appear greedy. Rabbit sat at the table and watched Pooh eat. First, Pooh had a little helping of condensed milk, and then a little helping of honey. Then he had another helping of condensed milk, and another helping of honey. Pooh ate and ate and ate and ate. At last, Pooh rose slowly from the table and said in a rather sticky voice, "Goodbye, Rabbit. I must be going." Rabbit sighed. "Well, Pooh, if you sure won't have any more." "Is there any more?" asked Pooh. "No," said Rabbit wearily. "There isn't." "I thought not," said Pooh, and he started out of Rabbit's front door. Pooh's head reached the outdoors and his feet dangled indoors, but his middle got stuck in the middle. Pooh tried to go out. He couldn't. He tried to go in, but he couldn't do that. "Bother," said Pooh, It all comes from not having a big enough front door." "Nonsense," said Rabbit sharply. "It all comes from eating too much." And he hurried out his back door to fetch Christopher Robin. Now there was nothing for Pooh to do but wait. He looked at the trees blowing in the breeze. He watched the clouds sailing by in the blue sky. Then he wiggled his bottom and kicked his legs, just in case, but he was still stuck tight. So he looked at the tree some more and spotted Owl sitting on a branch. "Hello, Pooh," said Owl. "Are you stuck?" "Oh no," said Pooh. "I'm just resting." Owl swooped down from his branch. "Pooh," he said, "you are definitely stuck. You are a wedged bear in a great tightness. This situation calls for an expert." "Did someone say expert?" asked Gopher. "Gopher's my name, digging's my game. Now what seems to be the problem?" He quickly inspected the situation. "The problem with this door," Gopher said, "is that it has a bear in it. Now, we could dig him out, or we could dynamite him out." "Dynamite?" Pooh said in a very small voice. "Dynamite?" explained Owl. "Nonsense, we can't dynamite. We might hurt him." "Well, think it over," said Gopher, popping down into his hole. "Let me know if you change your mind." Finally, Rabbit returned with Christopher Robin close behind. "Silly old bear," said Christopher Robin, shaking his head. Then he took hold of Pooh's paw, and Rabbit took hold of Christopher Robin's shirt, and they pulled and pulled and pulled. But Pooh was still stuck tight. "Pooh Bear," said Christopher Robin, "there's only one thing to do. We'll just have to wait for you to get thin." So they all waited. Christopher Robin read stories to Pooh. Owl lectured him on the dangers of eating too much. King had brought Pooh a kerchief to protect his head from the sun. Eeyore made gloomy predictions about how long it might take for Pooh to get thinner. "It could take days," he said with a sigh. "Maybe weeks, even months," he added. Rabbit grew tired of seeing Pooh's bottom and legs where his front door used to be, so he wedged a picture frame around Pooh and put a lace doily on Pooh's bottom. "And now for a little dash of color," he said, and set a flower pot on top of the doily on top of Pooh. But Pooh kicked his legs and the flower pot went crashing to the ground. Next, Rabbit found two branches that looked like antlers. With a paintbrush, he painted a moose face right on Pooh's bottom. For a finishing touch, Rabbit found a board and put it across Pooh's leg like a shelf. "Now that's more like it," he said. More time passed and still Pooh wasn't getting any thinner. Conga brought Roo for the visit. "I brought you some honeysuckle, Pooh," said Roo. "Honeysuckle?" asked Pooh hungrily. "No, Pooh," said Conga, laughing. "You don't eat it, you smell it." Pooh buried his nose in the flowers and sniffed. He said. He sniffed again. "Ah." Then his nose began to tickle. "Ah," he said once more. "Ah, ah, ah, choo!" Down came Rabbit's new shelf, knickknacks and all. Oh dear," said Rabbit crossly. "Why did I ever invite that bear to lunch?" That night Pooh was awakened by Gopher, who popped up to eat his midnight lunch. Pooh watched hungrily as Gopher ate. Then Gopher took a honey pot from his lunchbox. Pooh just couldn't stand it any longer. "Please, Gopher," he pleaded. "Could you spare a small smackle of honey?" Inside, Rabbit heard voices. Why, he was sure he had just heard someone give Pooh some honey. Honey that would make him fatter and keep him stuck in Rabbit's front door even longer. "Stop, stop, stop!" Rabbit cried, and he rushed out his back door and around to the front, just in time to snatch the honey pot from Pooh's paws. "Not a bite," he snapped. "Not a lick, not a drop." Then he made a sign and stuck it right up in the front of Pooh, where everyone could see it. The next morning, Rabbit was busy tidying up. He mopped his brow and leaned against Pooh's bottom to rest. Pooh moved. "He budged! Hooray! He budged!" Rabbit cried. "He bidged! He badged! He bodged!" He stopped to catch his breath. "Christopher Robin," he said. "I must get Christopher Robin." And out his back door Rabbit went, off through the 100-acre wood, just as fast as he could go. Before Pooh knew it, along came a parade of his very good friends. Rabbit ran into his house and began to push Pooh's bottom. Christopher Robin grabbed Pooh's paws. Conga grabbed Christopher Robin. Eeyore grabbed Conga. Roo grabbed Eeyore, and they all pulled as hard as they possibly could. Just when they were beginning to think that perhaps Pooh hadn't budged at all, Rabbit backed up in his living room as far as he could go and ran across the floor as fast as he could run and threw himself at Pooh's bottom as hard as he could throw himself. Pop! Pooh flew out of the doorway like a cork from a bottle and sailed across the grassy place in front of Rabbit's house, straight towards another honey tree. He landed head first right inside the hole in the tree. Buzz! Pooh's sudden appearance startled the bee. Startled the bees, and they flew out of the tree and far away from the treetops. Winnie the Pooh considered his new surroundings. Everywhere he looked, he saw delicious, delightful, mouth-watering honey. "Don't worry, Pooh," called Christopher Robin from way down below. "We'll get you out." "Take your time, Christopher Robin," said Pooh. "Take your time." The end.